Film cameras, you know them, you love them, or you hate them. Which one should you buy? Which one's the best for beginners? Which one is worth the $3,000 price tag? And why did one just sell for $14 million?
Sheesh.
I don't know, but we're going to kind of find out. I don't know if we'll actually find out, but we're going to talk about film cameras.
We're going to talk about it.
Which one you should buy, which one you shouldn't buy, why some are more valuable than others, and why the frick Leica can sell for 14 mil.
Insane.
Answer me that,
Leica.
Taylor.
Riddle me that. I have no
Taylor.
answer for you. Why me? Why me?
Because you're like our resident film lord.
You're the grain check.
I do not have answers for that.
You are the grain check.
You
I
are
honestly-
the grain check. You check the grain and you make
I
it
am
rain.
the grain check.
I like that.
You're like the teacher, like Mrs. Grain Check.
Mrs. Grain
Sick last
Check.
name.
Honestly, Niles, if that doesn't become a jingle,
Right.
Oh, that has to be
Right.
a jingle.
But
I'm
no,
looking
but
at
for
it. I'm
real,
looking at it
apparently a
now.
Leica sold for $14.4 million.
It says
Over the weekend.
15.1 million actually. And
I'm sorry.
14.4
Oh,
pounds.
my bad.
14.4
My bad.
pounds. US
Oh.
dollars,
15
15
million.
million. Yes.
A Leica O series.
oh my.
Wow, I'm looking at it now. Good
God.
lord. This was
Oh,
a
it's-
prototype?
Oh, it's old.
Oh yeah, that's why it's so much. Is because
Right.
it's one of the OGs.
It shot
Right.
the first photo ever.
From the
Not
early
even.
1900s. The
Yeah.
most
1900s,
expensive
yeah.
camera ever sold at auction.
Well,
Wow.
we're looking
I
at
mean,
the same
imagine having
article.
imagine
from
having a
Robert
brand.
Port?
Rob Report.
A brand that's been around that long is crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa, that actually is true. Like
Like-
it's like Ford has been around for a while since like the assembly line. That's like the 1930s, 1940s maybe, or is that
Yeah.
when did the Model T
Yeah.
come out?
Wasn't it 1920s?
Maybe,
20s.
but I'm not. This isn't history class, so I don't know.
Whoa, Caleb, what you got in that cup?
Wow, is that the merch transition? Because
Ooh.
what up?
Whoa.
Yeah, here we go,
So-
guys. We officially launched. Come on, Sony. Come on, Sony.
Oh, Caleb.
Damn.
There
Wow.
you go.
You need to set your autofocus settings to change
little
quicker.
faster, a little
and
faster
the rack
than
a little
that.
quicker.
Did you see this?
That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
See
That's
you
cool.
Back it up a
son.
bit. There you
You
go.
can also get a really big mug, which I've actually done. This is like a double size mug.
That is huge. The fact
Guys,
that
now
I
all
you can
sizes.
have single
We finally did it.
Ethio in a
And-
double
and
size.
Double.
You can double it up.
double O.
Can we just cheers real quick to finally launching merch, which we've talked about forever? Sunny 16 merch is now live. Link in
Cheers.
the description if you want to
Cheers.
check it out. We got t-shirts.
Cheers.
We got hoodies.
We got hoods.
We got hats. We got stickers. I am super excited. We just got a couple of the samples. That's why you're seeing us
Do
wear
we
a few
have
items
hats?
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
got hats.
I think we have
got.
Wow.
So
I
check
could've
it
got
out.
hats.
Link
I'm
link in the
wearing a
description
dad
right
cam hat.
now.
We got hats.
That's the plug. We would appreciate if you wanted to rep Sunny 16.
We know you want
honestly,
to.
it's
So just drop
pretty
that,
cool
drop
stuff. This shirt fits a little large. I'm not gonna lie.
That. What size is it?
but
Large?
This is a large. And
I got an
usually wear-
XL, and I washed it and dried it once, and it fits
Yeah.
a lot better now. The
Love that.
sleeves are a little long, but I actually prefer that over like trying to show my like big muscles sleeves.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
guess what? You can cut your sleeves if you want.
Wow, hot take. But
This
she's right.
hoodie, this hoodie which y'all are wearing.
Yep.
Yeah. It fits
It's
nice.
classic. It's a Gildan.
It's comfy cozy.
It's
Right.
super
I
comfy.
haven't taken mine off.
That's the one thing we said. We were like, hey, is
The
it
print
comfy cozy or is
quality-
it not comfy cozy?
The print
Right.
quality is like average.
It's okay.
I feel like, but it's a first gen. It's all good.
Right.
I'm excited
First
to just
gen.
have some merch that says Sunny 16. So
I'm excited because I actually like the shirts. I feel like a lot of merch from companies I don't typically enjoy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna wear like I'm gonna buy a lot of the merch and probably
Well, and
rock
the-
Not gonna lie, this
Oh,
is not
yeah.
a knock, but like the shirts you guys have on, it feels like something you can thrift. But like you want to
Right.
thrift that shirt.
No,
what
that's
I
the
feel.
Right.
highest
Right.
praise. To Taylor,
That
that
is
is like that's the
absolutely.
upper
Good, good.
echelon of me.
That's how I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like when I say I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna thrift that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for real, what do you guys
Good job,
got in your
Julia.
cups?
I have a latte actually.
Oh, not a baby bee?
Is it a baby bee
Nope.
with a latte though?
Oh, almost poured it out. Dang. That got right to the edge of my Sunny 16 mug.
Well, that's why you need a bigger one. It's like I got so much space down here in
The
this mug.
cheese right now. the
I'm
cheese.
drinking my single O.
Did you have to mix your ratio of your scale and your
Yeah.
pour over differently?
How'd you do
No.
it?
That big
Okay.
mug?
No, because
No?
the cup has nothing to do with that.
I love
Well, if you
that
wanna
mug,
fill it
Niles. Can
up.
you just give one more beauty shot?
So there's for you guys, and then here.
It's
Twirl it.
really cool.
Twirl it,
That's a
twirl it.
sick shape, actually.
Yeah, I
It
love that
reminds
it's
me-
so long and goes all the way around.
Yeah, it reminds me
Right.
of those impressionistic
But I do like the
paintings.
keep on the sunny side. on the other one because you
Yeah,
can
on
have
the
a
back.
logo on one side and then like keep on the same side on the other.
Hella cute.
We could do like a camera mug eventually too. But yeah, guys, we're just trying to have fun with merch. I mean, let us know in the comments if you want to see
Gosh, that
anything
took an
different
eternity to
or
focus.
We need
Yeah.
a single O
Crazy.
ETO merch. Something.
Yeah, we do.
That is true.
We
That is
do.
true.
We need
Single
that.
I have a caramel macchiato that I made myself. It's delicious.
dang, that's
Is
actually
it an
insane.
actual macchiato or
Yeah.
is it like a Starbucks version of caramel macchiato?
Taylor, were you ever a barista?
I don't know. What's the
In
difference?
a past life.
What's the difference between
my
a macchiato
gosh,
and
can
a
you believe
Starbucks
these people?
macchiato?
It's like a caramel macchiato from Starbucks. You can get like a venti, but a macchiato is basically every drink is like a milk to
Right.
water to coffee ratio. So like
Okay.
the way Starbucks is a caramel macchiato just isn't a macchiato. At least
'Cause
as far
it's-
as I'm aware.
Why
it's
do they
caramel
do
water
that
Starbucks
shit?
Starbucks caramel macchiato has vanilla flavoring in
Yeah,
it
it's
too.
vanilla.
It has vanilla.
And don't get me
It
wrong,
appease-
it
it appease
tastes
the masses.
delicious.
It's unreal.
It's delicious.
It's
It
the only
appeases the
Starbucks
masses,
coffee
yeah.
I'll drink.
It's also like 950 calories, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
like, amen, brother. That's as
Yeah.
American
I'm not
as it
watching my
gets.
calories,
Yeah.
so this.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
what's
need
up?
more calories. Yeah.
I'm not watching that.
Josh was
The doctor's gonna prescribe a caramel macchiato a day for
Yeah.
Joshua.
I just subscribe a Big Mac a day, so I mean, you know
Right.
what it is, what it is.
Right. I'm the opposite.
Holy
I'm the
hell.
opposite.
Yeah. No.
Holy hell.
Wait, Taylor, were you ever a barista?
No.
No. Everyone in the Northwest, like my wife included, everyone pretty much was a barista at one point.
Right.
Really?
As like
That's
a job.
funny.
That was like
Wow.
a very common job in high school or right around that time. But I never learned. I never did
I
coffee.
never did it.
Skipped right over being a
I'm
barista.
sad I
but-
didn't do it.
It
Sometimes
seems like
I
a
dream
rite of
of doing
passage.
it still.
It's a rite of
Especially for
passage.
a creative career. Like
mean,
everyone
at
who
this
leaves
point-
being a barista
Oh,
like
wait,
becomes
a
some sort
what?
of creative career.
Creative
Yeah.
A
career.
crater crew?
Crater crew?
A creative
What do you
career.
mean?
Crater
What do you mean
crew.
a crater crew?
Yeah,
Creative
yeah,
career.
exactly. Exactly.
Joshua, we
Yes,
didn't
you guys
hit your
get it.
drink, but we gotta get to
It's water.
cameras.
It's water. Next.
Oh my God.
It's water. Yeah.
He's right
The
though.
heat.
He's right though. It is. It's
heat.
basic. It's basic. It's just water.
Honestly, though, I mean, there is nothing that'll quench your thirst more than water. That's
Than
just
water.
that like if you're
Good old
thirsty
H2O.
and someone hands you
H2O.
a coffee, you're like, no.
Right.
If someone, it's like water.
Water.
I would say nothing tastes better in the world than water. Like when you
Mhm.
want water, there's nothing
Wait,
else.
do y'all
that-
know
Agreed.
about? Do you know about the beef between, not the beef, but like the disdain between Dasani water?
Well,
Like people
You
don't
mean
like
Dasani?
like how
Is it
people hate
Dasani
it.
or Dasani?
Is his name Sean? Dashani?
Dashani.
That's Sean. That's Sean over there. Look at Caleb.
No.
Yeah, people hate it.
definitely
People
hate
definitely
Dasani.
hate it.
Shawnee.
People
Yeah.
also hate other.
Arrowhead.
I mean,
No, Arrowhead.
Arrowhead.
Screw
See,
Arrowhead.
I love
I don't-
Arrowhead.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
Joshua, that's the reaction we got when you said you liked bottled Coke. Like, that is the same.
Yes.
That's the same playing
That is-
field, bro.
That is
But
exactly
they're two different
right,
things.
The
Two
equivalent.
different things. Two different.
Arrowhead
things.
is butt water.
See,
Okay.
everyone
But water.
has different
Yeah.
Taste buds.
experiences.
Taste
Taste
yeah.
buds.
Yeah.
Everyone has different
Don't-
buddies in their mouth.
Please don't judge my palate.
Fine, fine. I
It's
won't.
it's being judged.
I have a friend who just started working for Arrowhead, and that's the first thing I said. I was like, doesn't their water suck? And he was like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, all right.
What does he
Cool.
do for Arrowhead?
I don't know, account manager or some like really stuffy old
That's
school job
wild.
like that.
So funny.
He's like a
Arrowhead's
salesman.
not
It's
owned
like
by
the
Nestle,
hardest
is it?
job
Or
to
is
be a
that Spring
salesman.
Life or Spring Water? What is that?
No, Arrowhead is owned by someone bigger.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
Nestle
pretty sure.
though.
Pepsi, probably.
the fact that we are talking about drinks still.
And that we
Okay.
haven't talked about a single
Yeah.
film camera yet. Okay,
Everyone has
you're right,
clicked off.
you're right.
Everyone
Switch
has
up,
clicked
switch
off
up.
the
Yes,
episode by
yes.
now.
Dang, 13 minutes in. Switch up.
Switch
What is okay? Film
I have a
cameras.
question. I have a question.
Okay,
I have a
yeah,
question.
perfect.
Why? Okay, here we go. YouTube chapter marker. Why is there my biggest question is, why is there such a discrepancy between film camera prices? Not talking film, we're talking bodies today.
Yeah.
Ooh,
cameras.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, you can go buy a thrifted camera for $2, or even go on eBay and buy a camera for $20, and then you can buy a $14 million Leica. Why?
Taylor.
Probably, well,
Taylor.
obviously,
Taylor answer.
Leica.
History, yeah.
We always say this when we talk about Leica. It's like
Right.
history and just name recognition and all of that. Just the
So
clout
it's kind
that
of like a
comes with
fancy
that.
design. It's like buying Gucci.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
too.
a little bit, but I think why that holds up is because at the end of the day, a Leica, because it's fully mechanical, just it's like
gonna
it's
work.
not gonna fail you.
Well, someone had a personal experience.
Oh, me.
Yeah, with some
Yeah.
Leica failures.
Absolutely.
I just feel
I was
like
also
it's
going to
not-
say I was also
Leicas
gonna
never
say-
fail except when I buy them.
I
And
said
then
Leicas
they
Leicas
break.
never fail, except when they do.
I was going to say though, like if a company, like to answer your question, Caleb, if a company is seeking out to be the most premium brand to be, I mean, that it can be, it will just kind of just be that brand. Like we're going to sell for six grand a pop per camera, and we're
And
not
then
going to go any
they're
lower
gonna
than
be
that.
treated different, and
Yeah.
yeah, they're only gonna get more valuable.
And
What did
Two, like,
Leica sell for like back in the day?
I'm sure they did optics
I don't
for
know.
optics
Probably,
or machinery.
I feel like it
or-
was a similar price point of us paying for like a new Fuji, a new Canon camera, where it's like a few $1,000s equivalent of for like a good camera. But like
Yeah.
with filmed bodies, it doesn't seem like a supply and demand type of thing. It doesn't seem like the quality.
So the rarity of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's. And I know Leica has this snowball effect since they've been around since the early 1900s to now. Like they have that credibility, but
Sheesh.
like I just don't really like if you're starting shooting film, like what are you buying? A Canon AE1? Like those all break and those all like are fine to get started. They probably have a 50
I'm
mil
so
lens
glad I
already
never got
connected
one of
to it that's
those.
never been taken off.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fine, right? They work. I had a Pentax K1000. That was
Yep.
the camera I learned on in high school
Yep.
film class. Shout out to
Such a
the
good
Pentax K1000. So you get these like metal bodies, all mechanical, pretty analog. Obviously, when you introduce some electronics, some point and shoots, they can have that. But once you start getting the hype around them, like that new Contax G2, that who just announced the colorway? Like
I think it's Kith with which
Kith.
Man,
that's
it
right.
looks
But
so
but
good.
I don't think it's in the United States. I think it's somewhere. I think it's in like the Asian market where it's like they're more because
Yeah.
Really?
where I found that site was not in. Oh my gosh!
Your
Is it the
background.
background
It's
of your
literally my background
phone?
on my phone, yeah.
Shut
It's
Wait,
literally
so
background
you
on my
don't
phone.
have a photo of your children or your
Shut
wife?
It's on the next page. Chill. It's on the next page.
Can everybody show their background
That
on their phones
is
real quick?
I don't
incredible.
have my phone on me right now. My phone's
Mine's-
downstairs.
Yeah.
Mine's wholesome.
Mine's a photo of me holding both
then
my
have my-
kids in Yosemite.
And then my kids
Yeah.
are in the background of this one. But
Oh,
I got-
when the one you can't see them.
Look, don't do that to me, Niles.
So
Okay.
that
Joshua
G2
and Niles
camera.
are fighting today.
I know. I think we fight every episode. but
Every
it's just-
episode,
It's,
I
it's
think
just
so.
because I like him. I actually had a neighbor growing up that he had
I
a
hope you did.
crazy story. He. That's pretty funny.
We all need neighbors.
Yeah. So basically, he's since passed, but he basically he's French, and during World War II, he had to pose as like a Nazi boy soldier to escape. So he basically escaped
What?
Nazi-held France.
Germany or
And
France.
then
Did you
basically
do
just
a
had like
doc
a
on this
crazy
dude? Dang.
a crazy childhood, and then became a photographer. And he shot like the Khmer Rouge and all this stuff. And he always used Leica. And the reason I remember him telling me this directly in college, he was like, "The reason I use Leica is because they'll never break." And what he was
Right.
saying is that he basically had a bunch of only mechanical, basically only mechanical cameras where it's like he could be, in just the backwoods for like months and never worry about his camera like recharging or needing batteries or breaking. Like it always worked. And I thought that was actually really cool. And then he basically had a story where he took all his film out and he basically like stuffed it in his pants because he was going through this like vetting system. And then he handed them his cameras and they took his cameras but he had all his film just like stuffed
I
in
feel
his
like
pants.
those kind of
Unreal.
stories, when you hear about like old Leica stories, war stories, like
Yes.
photography, people care so much about their images, and I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Like when you just hear stuff like that, it makes me I'm like so excited. Like, why do we care so much about just like
It's like
our
the
photos?
most
Like
pure photographer.
just
Is
in
like
us
a
to-
photographer, I feel like.
Right. It
'Cause
also
they're,
just
like,
makes
risking
you want
their
that
life.
camera. Right.
Risking their life,
Well-
completely like solely documenting history where no one else
Yeah.
is doing that.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know?
So just
there's probably
front-
one photographer.
frontline
Years.
journalists in general. Frontline
Right.
journalists
What a
right now in
difficult
our
career.
era
Yeah.
is also insanely dangerous. It's
Yeah.
insanely inspiring.
I do
Amazing.
think there's
cool
like
to
the most
see.
pure form of photographer is like the historian.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're not creating anything.
Documentation,
They're just
yeah.
like I mean, I've heard Joe say this a lot where like he's just documenting like his blip on the earth
Yeah.
for like the next generation to basically look at. And every every good street photographer, war photographer, it's kind of like they are just documenting this point in time where they're trying to not manipulate it at all. They're trying to just
Right.
like pass on the
But-
story. And that
but-
is like that's That's really
so
cool
cool.
to me. There's obviously
pretty
it's not
cool.
like the best form of photography, but it's just like to me it's like one of the most pure forms.
Wholesome.
Right, but like in the back of the mind of a photographer, you're still composing, you're still looking at lighting,
Right.
like,
Right.
like all these things are
Totally.
running through your head. Because like when I look at historical images, I'm like, man, that is a fantastic image. From
Right.
the story
Yeah.
to
Like
how it's
technically,
composed.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's so
Yeah.
many things, so many elements that go into it, and it's crazy that you have to think on your feet to get something
I-
like that.
Arguably more talent back then because they had to learn this, like, perfect a craft to
Yeah.
get the image dialed in at the end.
You know,
Right.
zone focusing and all
Right.
that other stuff.
But you know, they weren't distracted with Instagram Reels and stuff, so they probably were
No,
like
they
a
weren't.
lot. They had
I
like
gotta
20
get a
times
Verdi
more
for it.
brain
I
power.
gotta get the
bro.
Verdi.
Yeah, let me get vertical for
Yeah,
TikTok.
Al's gonna love this shot.
Yeah. Nope.
I do think those stories, though, what you were saying, Caleb, like those stories make Leica cooler too. It's like, oh, I
For
was
sure.
back
I
like
know.
documenting like a dictator in the Congo, and you're like, what? And it's like, yeah, and I shot it all in Leica. It's like, whoa, that's pretty sweet.
It's so
you know?
funny
Yeah.
that
Well, I know Leica glass too is super nice.
Oh
So
my
clearly
gosh,
those
it's
go
so
hand in
good.
hand as like just butter.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny because like when we talk about these conversations with cameras and Leica's always at the top, I'm like Hasselblad's like right there, but nobody
Oh,
talks
yeah.
about Hasselblad just as much as.
But people
we do
love their
Leica.
Hassies, dude.
I love.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Hassi's the medium format version of
Yeah.
like a Leica is to 35. I would say.
David
That's
Ho-
the
'Cause I don't
David
think Hassel
Hasselhoff.
did. Hassel.
Sorry,
Wow.
tried to make a bad joke.
He didn't like it. He didn't like it. Sorry, dude.
No, he liked it.
Wow.
David
said, wow.
Hasselhoff.
Wow. That's all you get from me today. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't have a 35 mil camera. Hasselblad does, do they?
And
I've
Leica
never
doesn't
seen
have
one.
a medium format camera.
Right.
What's
No.
that one camera? The you guys will probably know. It's the super. It's like panoramic
X-Pan?
35
The
X-Pan.
X-Pan?
I want
Oh,
that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are
I mean, it looks
I have
like a
a-
movie. It
I have
looks
a
like
fake
movie.
X-Pan. I have a
Does
fake
that?
X-Pan.
Where it puts like black bars basically down on the frame.
No. So my Bronica ETRS I has a 35 mil wide back, and so I can take
Oh, okay.
35 mil film and it just shoots it across. So, but
So
yeah,
the way the X-Pan
That's
works
sick.
is it like
Mhm.
does it take 2 frames or 2 like 35 mil film?
The
What am I trying
X-Pan?
to say? Yeah, how does it work? Does it take 2 negatives and like put them
Put
together?
them together.
I actually don't know.
I thought it was just it just captures because you know how when you load the 35 mil film into a 35 mil camera, it has that section where the image is going to be taken, so it has that
Right.
certain
Like
advanced
where the
placement.
light is exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit wider in an X pan where it captures more of the negative.
Okay.
So you get less shots on a roll.
You get less shots in
Right.
a row. Normally, like I think half.
So it's kind of similar to how like you can have like a 645, 6x7, 6x9,
Yeah.
and it's just like using
Yeah.
more film per shot.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
that
21.
That makes sense.
It's like
I have this
21 by,
camera.
Oh, here comes a flex.
Here we go.
No. This
What
is
is
not
that?
a flex.
What
This
is
is well, if I can get my Sony to focus, I
Is that
clearly have the
Olympus?
wrong setting on Olympus.
I clearly have the wrong
It's-
setting. He admits it now.
This is basically like it's called the Olympus OM1, and it's like
Yeah.
their version of an AE1 or a Pentax K1000. Very simple, but apparently this was the first camera that was on top that took a photo on top of Everest.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Kind of the cool historical thing. And I'm like, it's pretty light. It's definitely has a little weight to it because it's metal. But I mean, hauling this up to Everest, it's pretty rad.
Yeah.
That's really
but
cool.
I think I talked to my buddy James, who does a lot of like high alpine adventures.
Yeah.
He has a Leica like M6, I think, and a lot of his camera batteries die by the time he gets to the summit, right? Because it's a battery. And so yeah, like going back to your point, busting out a
Could
camera
freeze,
that's
yeah.
kind of all mechanical in whatever weather conditions.
Yeah.
Right.
I
wish I had bought a 35 more mechanical because this camera, this is the Minolta, I think X570.
Oh, my
And-
wife
Minoltas
wants
are
that.
tight, too.
Yeah, I mean it's a great little 35, but it's just
Love the all black.
I love the all black. It
all
looks
black,
classic.
yeah.
I love that Minolta logo. You see you see the little it's like a little sun with 3 things in it. But yeah, it's just like it breaks and then it's kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
Now
Fun
what?
fact.
You know, it's like I have
Yeah.
to figure out how to
So
get it fixed.
maybe
There's
we're
nothing like your film camera breaking,
No.
especially
Tell us
like
about your
mid-roller
story,
when you're.
Taylor.
Let's do
you
a
know,
let's
Right.
do a-
Taylor.
story time.
Oh.
Well, just tell
Story
us what
time,
happened. So you
story
bought
time.
you want to talk about your camera you bought and then what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah,
Sure, what were you gonna say, Joshua?
You've had like camera horror stories the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna
I'm under a curse.
ask. Can we talk about like a
Wait, let
film
Taylor
camera
go.
buying guide? But no, I'm saying my question.
Yeah,
then
we
come back
should.
around.
We
a
we
buying
should definitely
guide.
do
A
that.
Let's hit
camera
that
buying
after.
guide. That's
Not that
interesting.
we know everything, but we could try.
Right.
I have 4 minutes on my clip, so here we go.
Well,
Car's
Yeah.
full.
don't just stop and start right now.
Okay. Yeah, I've been under a curse for sure. I've been trying to film a Kodak Gold 120 video for like 4 months now. And every time I go out to do it, something happens. Like the model can't, or it's raining and you can't shoot gold without sun, really. All the things. The last 2 times I've tried to film the video, the only like perfectly working medium format I have is my RZ67, and I loaded it up with gold, took it out, shot was not firing. So I troubleshoot.
Shots not fired.
That happens.
Shots not fired.
Shots not fired. That happens though. Like sometimes your camera's not operating and you gotta like do some fiddling around, right? It's not like a digital camera where it's like what has gone on.
Right.
So
I need a software update.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm like fiddling with my camera and I troubleshoot every possible thing. I of course pulled up a YouTube video and like did all these troubleshooting things
Yes.
alongside this guy on YouTube. It was fantastic. And none of them worked. So unfortunately I'd already loaded the roll, so that roll was like
So that
ended up
film
having
back-
to get trashed.
Oh, bummer. Because you couldn't change the film back.
Well, yeah. So then I buy a new film back because I was convinced it was this little pin on the back that wasn't setting into place, which was telling the shutter not to fire. So I like hunt for a new back, which are kind of expensive.
Sheesh.
So dumb. A really kind guy on Instagram sold me his extra one for like half the retail price, which was amazing. And he like
How much
overnighted
are-
it to me.
Thank you.
How-
sir.
Bless
much-
up.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Like-
Thank you,
How,
sir.
They're
how much
like-
are we talking?
They can be like $250 for like a nice pristine one. So I get the new back. I'm all stoked. I load it up with another roll. I take it out.
Doesn't
Same
work.
problem. Doesn't work. So
Dang.
2 rows of gold down the drain.
Dang.
So then I was just like, I am putting this. I can't. It's right there. I haven't touched it. I can't even like
Look at it.
Honestly, think about it.
Don't look at it.
I can't. So I just said, screw that. And I just moved on. I was like, I just need to come back to it later. I think
Right.
what I said in my camera collection video is like, give me 2 months to like wallow in some self-pity and then maybe I'll fix it.
Fix it, yeah.
Because it sucks to send one into the shop. I asked
Right.
my shop
Yeah.
how long it's going to be and how much it's going to be. And they were like, minimum, it's probably going to be $400. It could be obviously way more depending on the issue.
Right.
And it's going to be at least 10 weeks.
Good grief. Are they
It's
that
like,
full?
okay, I don't feel
So
like
do
doing that
they
right
have like
now.
100 other cameras they're working
I'm
on?
saying,
or is it
like-
just yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
then-
I'll send you my 645. I'll let that baby go for a little
I mean,
bit.
I would shoot it.
No, you wouldn't. Don't
Actually-
lie.
I mean, kind of sounds
Actually,
fun.
I wouldn't.
Actually, no.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't.
So then, for the curse to
wouldn't.
continue, I have been thinking about getting a Leica for quite a while. How could you not? And I was out
Would this be
one
your
day.
first Leica? You've never owned a Leica
I've
before?
never owned a Leica in my life.
Okay.
I was out with Tyler. We were just like bopping around one day, and we were right by Blue Moon, which is like a really great camera store here. And we pop in, and you should never go into a camera store and browse. This is my like
Right. No, I feel
PSA
that.
to all of you.
Right.
Never do that. I
Oh,
did
this
that.
is when you texted us, huh?
Oh yeah. And you know, the guys at the store can like tell that I'm like drooling over all the cameras in the cases.
Right.
They're like, oh, that's Taylor. We know who she is.
Oh,
She-
no way.
That's
But
camera.
they-
She drools.
But they could see me, you know,
Right.
eye and everything. And they're like, hey, like, we have a really nice Leica M3 right here.
Dang.
And I'm like, please
Scoping
don't
you
show
out.
me. Please don't show me. He pulls it out. It has a Leica lens on it. He's like, it just got worked up. It's been fully serviced. It's working
Dang.
perfectly.
Dang.
It's right here in your hands. And I'm
Speaking
like,
Like
And
you
you need-
have
shit.
it right now.
And you
Yeah.
just you
Speaking
need a
my
rebound. You
language.
need a rebound camera.
right.
You need
I'm
a new
feeling,
relationship.
I'm feeling
Right.
down bad from the
Yeah.
RZ. So
a
I'm just
you're
like,
rebound
Like,
camera.
Rebound camera.
this
You're
is
in a
my
bad
A
rebound
Leica is
You
camera.
just
not a
went through a
rebound.
breakup. You
A
went through a camera
Leica is
breakup.
not a rebound. That is
So
disrespectul,
true.
Caleb. That's
No,
Leica is
disrespectful.
not
A
a
Leica is
rebound.
a Leica is like the
Taylor
rebound that
was in
turns
that
into
place
marriage.
mentally. Taylor plays mentally.
Yeah.
You don't
I
one
was-
night
Down on her
stand with a
You don't
Leica.
like you don't want to say like
You put a ring on it.
You
ASAP.
commit. You commit. So
You have a one night stand with an AE1. Let's
Yeah,
be
Yeah,
yeah.
just face it. Not even one night stand. It's like a
You have like
cookie.
30
It's in the
one
stall.
night stands with the
You're in the
Oh
A1.
stall
my
with that.
gosh! Please cut this into
Mike
a
Dewey.
short. This
Mike
is
Dewey
so
has
good.
some one night stands with an AE1. Moves on. Then he
I have
moves on.
actually 4 AE1s in my cupboard. I don't
I-
even know why I have 4.
Oh my god. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Okay,
Okay.
just if you own an AE1, apparently there's 2 versions. One that is okay and one that breaks a lot, and it's hard.
Really?
Yes, and apparently
Is one the AE1 program?
I have
Program?
no
I think it's the
idea.
program. I
I
think
have
it's the
no
program.
idea.
Program.
But I know if you have an AE1 and it works, then keep it. Like that's great. Like it's
Yeah.
just as good as any other
When they
camera,
work,
but-
they're great.
Yes. It's just that
100%.
there's one type that breaks all the time, and it's just made everyone jaded. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that.
Everyone's pissed.
And they
clearly.
light leak a lot through the lens. They're,
You
they're
know.
I mean,
average.
Dewey has had. I mean, I've seen that dude go through literally an emotional roller coaster with his
Oh.
AE1.
Yeah.
It's
The
horrible.
seals-
And now-
the
and
seals
now-
on
and
that
now-
camera.
Yeah, the
I
seals
didn't
were
mean
always.
to
Yeah.
interrupt the story.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway,
Like
I'm
it.
talking
Riveting.
a long time. So then,
No, I like it. It's good.
long story short, I ended up having to leave the store because I was like, I need to take a lap because I'm
Right,
standing there and I'm
always.
like, I'm gonna buy this camera right now, so
Yeah,
I
she's
need
over
to
here
go
texting
outside.
us. We're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, do it, Taylor, do it.
What's the
I
price
know.
tag?
What was it? 19
Oh,
Nice,
that's not bad.
for the body,
September.
not with the lens. Jesus,
Oh,
because the
so it'd be
lens
like
was
20.
also. I think the lens was more. The lens
Yeah.
was like 26 or something.
Okay,
and I was
that
like,
makes
there's
sense.
no
Oh,
way.
that's-
What is that? A Summicron
Bleach.
35 f2? Like, what was that?
Whoa.
It
Like
was
a
a
R?
it was a Leica lens.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, but like, do you
They
know
are
what?
so expensive.
They're very
It
expensive.
was a. Was it a 35 or a 50?
Probably
I think it was a
35.
35 1 2
Probably
or
35.
something like that.
Yeah. Mhm.
1,
I'm like-
2.
1,
I
2,
think so.
yeah, that is.
So I was like,
that's
I'm
gold
out
right
of
there.
here. Like, I'm so out of here. So I walk out, and as soon as I left, I was like, it's happening.
Going back.
I just,
I'm going
I
back.
just knew it. But I still took a couple minutes, and then I went back in, bought it, right? So I'm all
jeez.
freaking stoked.
Wait, you didn't go home. You just walked into like that sidewalk.
She
outside?
literally
took a
took.
circle.
She,
Oh,
she,
no.
she, she
Circle.
took 3 steps outside and said, "I'm in."
Yeah.
Walk back.
No,
Said, "Frick it,
literally
I'm
like
doing
5
it."
minutes outside.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then I leave with it.
That is
okay?
good advice, though. It's like leave, and if you
Take a
really miss
second.
it, take a second.
Take a second.
Yeah.
I
'Cause,
do
like,
that
you'll
with-
kinda-
Did you?
Maybe it
Clothes.
sounds ridiculous, but I do that with clothes and shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Sarah,
I mean,
Sarah,
it kind
my
of
wife,
forget
is
about
very
it,
good about that.
Yeah.
I don't need it. You know.
So you didn't get buyer's remorse, did you?
Well,
I was a little freaked out. I think I was just like, I was all like juiced up because I was excited, but I was also like,
Right.
holy
Juiced.
crap, like this
It's
is
expensive.
it. Like I've always thought about this day, and now suddenly, surprisingly, it's here.
Wow.
So I buy a
Wow.
pretty cheap lens for it, and as I've seen some cool images taken, it's a little like Jupiter 12 lens. It's just like a really old, kind of soft lens. So I get the lens. I wait for it to come in. The camera was bubble wrapped. I didn't touch it. The lens comes in. I load it. I go out one day. I'm like bopping around for a whole morning with my Leica. Just couldn't
right
be
on a
happier.
cloud.
Pure
On a cloud.
Literally
Bliss.
dancing on a beach with my Leica. And then I go to the lab here that does same day because I'm like, I just need to see what these look like. Because I was getting ready to film a video for the M3 because my Kodak Gold video was not happening. So I get the scans back, and you can go to the Sunny Instagram and see what they looked like. All
Yeah,
warped, all horrible, shutters totally broken.
What did you do in
I
that
don't
exact moment
understand,
you got
like,
your
they
scans
said it was
Oh.
How did they
service.
sell you that camera? I feel like
How?
they should.
They said it was
like,
service.
like,
They tested it. I was told it was tested.
Clearly, they didn't, or
And
something broke in the
serviced.
meantime. Yeah.
Or something happened in the meantime, but I will tell
Did
you,
you
it
cry?
was bubble wrapped on my desk the whole time I had it, so I didn't break it.
yeah.
Did you hit the
Can I
tube and be like,
cry?
"Hey,
Can I
this thing
get
was
a-
did you
broken
cry?
yet?"
Can I get?
Oh,
Can I
yeah.
get a tip? Can I give a tip?
Immediately I went in, I brought it in, and I brought the scans, and I was like, tell me what has happened here. I was so mad, you guys. Holy
Yeah, you spent a
shit.
lot of money.
Oh, so upset. So then, yeah, long story short, they took it back and they serviced it for free. And yeah, she's working just fine now. But
Oh, good.
it was not what I was expecting for like my first Leica. You know what I mean? You want to walk away and have a perfectly
Yeah.
working camera.
Right.
So
Something similar happened to my wife when she was
Ugh.
when she bought not a Leica, but like just another 35 mil. And I told her something I do if I go in to like a camera store, I take a roll like a burner roll basically,
Right.
and I shoot it through frames there in the store, leave the
Yeah.
camera there, develop it,
Yeah.
and say, okay, this should be fine. Because when she
Whoa.
came back, yeah,
That's a long process, though.
It is,
It's
but
Whoa,
like,
dude,
but
are you
like,
made of money?
if you're doing it at home,
I can't afford that.
Developing
Shooting
at home?
Portra? Shooting Portra
Um,
or what?
it was like what, Ultramax, something like that.
right,
yeah.
something cheaper.
Yeah, something real cheap. So I mean yeah. I mean, not everybody's gonna do that, but like that's what I like to do if I'm gonna go in and if I know I'm gonna buy a camera, I'm gonna, because like some of these camera stores don't service. They like, oh yeah,
Right.
it's in good condition. I'm like,
Or they
crap,
just
let me
don't
see.
know.
Yeah, they don't know.
They're like, we just wiped it down with like a towel. It looks
Yeah.
really shiny. It looks
some alcohol wipes.
yeah, like it's so clean. I just have you seen that trend going around with The Rock?
And the
Or-
and the breaking their lens. Or the
breaking
scratching.
their lens or scratching.
Oh,
I saw a meme
yeah.
about scratching the sensor too. I'm like, please
What?
don't do that. I think it's like
it's a joke,
a
right?
It's a joke. I think
Okay.
someone probably did it for it to start.
Oh my
But
God.
the fact that it's on TikTok, somebody's
is not
actually
a
doing it for
funny
real.
No, it's not.
I take that
so,
very
okay.
personally.
So buyer's guide. If we were to
Ugh.
kind of recommend
This is hard.
let's say, and one other thing I wanted to get, because I don't have one yet, but it's a film camera I want. What are like the film cameras, like the Canon M? It looks like a digital camera. Like the body looks like a 5D.
It's the one
but
that
it's-
Natalie has, right?
I have one.
and
Oh, I have one
what
too.
are those? What's the story with those? They're
So
like
there
fully
are a lot
electronic,
of those. Those are very accessible.
and they're legit, right?
And they are so great. So I have the EOS 630, and
Nice.
it mounts
EOS
EF lenses.
Yep.
And
So if
like,
you have
when I
any
had-
Canon glass,
Oh.
you can
Yeah, you
mount
can use it,
your
yeah.
normal
Yeah.
Canon
If-
lens L
Yeah.
series on that bad boy.
I have the
And you
Rebel.
shoot-
If you
auto,
have
or-
like Canon prime lenses,
Mhm.
get one of these bodies. I got mine for $30.
Yeah,
this
they're
was
super
granted
cheap.
years
Are
ago.
you kidding me?
Super
$30. And I kid you not, the photos
the
that
camera
come
I
from
want.
this camera are so sharp, and it literally looks like medium format.
right,
Ah.
because it's
It's
so
crazy.
Juicy?
I think it's because the lens
It's because
I was
the glass,
shooting on.
especially if you're
glass,
using like
yeah.
L series,
I
nice,
was
Yeah.
using
best Canon
prime
glass.
lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Micro
wow, they
contrast.
Were
are
you shooting
like
wide
medium
open
format.
too?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
gorgeous.
Real-
Gorgeous.
So that's
real
what
quick.
that's what
Sharp.
I've heard. A lot of people will shoot like corporate work, or if you're
Oh,
booked
yeah.
out for a client, they want to shoot film. It's like they're very reliable. And
I
why
know
are they so
Chorsky does
slept
that a
on?
little bit.
Why are they so
Yeah,
slept
I have
on?
no idea.
I don't know, to be
'Cause they don't
honest
look
with you.
cool, or-
Probably, because it
Damn, this
very
one's
much.
$60.
Yeah,
There you
it
go.
very much is like shooting digital because you got your big ass lens and now your big ass
Right.
body. It doesn't look like a film
Throw
camera.
it
And you
on-
have
throw it
like
on program
batteries.
mode.
And, like,
Right.
yeah, I would shoot on like aperture priority and just
Yeah.
call it a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real quick, can we
Yep.
pause? I need to switch my card out. That thing filled
Yep.
up so fast.
What I said in my camera collection video is like, if you're shooting digital Canon and you want to shoot film, like this is 100% the way to go.
Right. Yeah.
It's
This
a $60 entry fee.
a $60 entry
If
fee,
you-
and then you
right.
gotta pay for your film.
Yeah.
If you already have Canon glass, this is amazing. Could you put a Metabones on here
Oh my god, I don't
No,
know.
it's full frame already. So why
yeah,
would
why
you?
would you?
Oh
to,
yeah.
You
to be
get,
able
like,
to be able to
vignetting.
put on some different glass?
Yeah, you put an adapter on it.
Oh, you don't need Metabones then. You just need.
Right. Well, I guess like I guess Metabones meaning an
Adapter.
Adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
That's the
course.
standard.
That could look pretty cool. Then you could get like the reliability of the body, and then have that vintage glass look with the adapter. That could be
Right.
cool.
Because I have
But
some
dude,
Canon FD lenses, which
But
I guess
solid
we'll
au-
just be able to mount unless it's a different. I'd have to look
so
at it, but
Taylor,
it's like, that's
Taylor, when
cool.
you shoot through it with a Canon lens that has
It's a different
electronics,
mount, by
does
the
it
way.
show
It's
you
an FD mount.
autofocus?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it like locks in on autofocus
Mm-hmm.
like a digital camera? Dang.
No way. So
it-
so
and
this
it-
is the opposite of mechanical. This is very battery
Yes,
powered.
this is
Yeah,
this
very
is
battery
very
powered, yeah.
much what we were warning against in the beginning.
But here we are frothing.
I could see
Yeah.
these cameras though, like being
Popping
more
off.
valuable than they are. I wonder what they.
Right.
sold
I
for back
really
in the
want
day.
a Nikon
Let me grab mine.
F6.
F6.
The
I want the
F6.
Nikon F100. I've heard that's super good.
The F6 has been like on my bucket list for a while now.
Oh, the F6. Oh,
Is that the one with the very tall
kidding me?
viewfinder?
Yeah,
the top.
it's their flagship cameras, and I've always
Yeah.
liked that body style.
any
why
of
do you
those
why do you
Nikon
like?
F.
Okay, so that camera's $1,000.
Yeah,
Why
I
do you
think
want
it's-
that camera over the $60 Canon that looks the exact?
I have this.
that
I have
does
the,
the
I
exact
have
same?
that Canon. I have that Canon one, but it's like
Oh.
I want a Nikon plus one for the Nikon glass. They haven't changed that mount for years until they came out the mirrorless. So like throwing any Nikon glass on that. This was one of the first film cameras that had burst mode, so you can you can blow through 36 frames, but like you blow through like five frames or 6 frames a second. That was pretty fast.
Right, and it's weird to think that like in the early thousands, like digital wasn't really out, so they
Yeah.
were creating this technology like autofocus and all this stuff for film. So to
Yeah.
think that like you can get those newer age.
I have never
features
owned a
is
Nikon.
crazy.
Yeah,
I've never owned a Nikon.
Oh,
My
I
ve-
love
not
my
love
very
Nikon.
first camera. My very first camera was a Nikon,
Oh,
a
there it
Nikon
is.
D90.
Yo, that body
was
style
my
is
first
so
camera.
sexy. The D90, I remember that camera.
Mm-hmm.
I had the D7000 and the D750. The D750 is mine.
Right.
It's the GOAT.
Wait, have I told you guys a story of how I got that camera?
No.
Okay,
The
so,
D90?
Yeah, haven't I told you this?
No.
Okay, so just
No.
this is a very like funny LA story. So my mom's has 3 best friends that I've always considered my aunts. One is my Aunt April, and she's kind of a crazy person. She went to ASU, partier. She dated MacGyver, which if you don't know what that show is, it's
Oh,
like
wow.
She dated MacGyver?
she dated MacGyver,
actor?
had children with MacGyver. He's like his name's Rick. He's great.
No way.
They lived in Malibu. This whole thing. She hits me up because I have a truck. I'm a freshman in college, and she says, "Hey." She's the personal assistant to David Spade. So David Spade needed a couch moved, and rather than hiring someone, she just wanted to have me do it, and then she would give me like a couple $100. So I get my buddy James Raj to go, and we drive to this like bougie Malibu house. We put the couch in. We take it to David Spade's like mistress's house. I have no idea. Her name was Rosie, but I don't know anything about her. Me and James are 18 years old trying to shove this couch into this like West Hollywood little home. We can't get it in. We try like
my
for
God.
2 hours, and my Aunt April finally was like, "I'm just gonna call David." I was like, "Okay, call David." Like whatever, like you know. So she calls David, and David's face just is like, "Okay, I'll just buy Rosie a new couch, and you can just let Niles keep it." So then I just had a
No.
$5,000 suede couch in the back of my
No.
truck, and I had nowhere to put it.
Right.
Sell,
So then I'm talking to my dad, and my dad's flying out to help me drive my truck back to Kansas City. And he's like, "Well, I'll take the couch." And I was like, "Well, what are you going to give me?" And he was like, "Well, how about I buy you that camera?" So then he
couch for
bought
a
me
camera.
a Nikon D90, and I gave him David Spade's couch, which is in his
Oh.
house to this day.
My
That's
God,
so
I
sick.
love
Okay.
that.
We got it.
Wow.
A classic couch camera trade.
Couch camera
A classic David Spade
David
couch camera
Spade.
trade.
Right.
MacGyver.
I mean, just oh yeah. I mean, it was the whole thing was just like
That's
I mean,
bizarre.
I was fresh in college in you know living in Malibu, going to Pepperdine, and it was just like the most Pepperdine LA
Yeah. Oh,
little
yeah.
story, you know.
So after you got the camera, were you just like, just using it all
Well, you
the
know what's
time?
funny is we had this idea. So we were driving. So the couch, we have to drive out to Kansas City. So the couch just stayed in my car with a tarp over it for like 2 months. Like I'm just driving
God.
around Malibu with a couch, and
But it's like
thankfully
a
no one ever-
designer
Oh my God.
couch.
It's like a designer couch. It's like
super
nice couch.
it's like at least $5,000.
The
Golly.
disrespect.
And then, but my dad and I like, oh, every time we like stop somewhere cool, we should get the couch out and take a photo of us sitting on it, like in these random places. So we
Did
had this
you?
like, no, we didn't, but we had
Aw.
this whole like photo series essay idea, and it
That could
actually
have been those could have been your just like multi-million-dollar NFTs right there.
I
For
know.
real.
I know. Well, what we realized is like to get to the pretty spots, we'd have to carry it like
Right.
really,
Oh.
You'd have
really
to hike
far.
it.
And in
Yeah.
hindsight, we should have just done it on like the side of the road. Like anything we
Right.
thought was funny looking, we
100%.
pull the couch out, we take a photo,
Oh,
we leave. I
that
also
would've
knew
been so good.
nothing about settings. I didn't know how to use the camera at all, so they probably would have turned out terribly.
Program
but
mode, man.
part of me is a
Program
little bit encouraged by that. I was just like, oh, that was like an original idea that me and my dad had, or as
I
most
love
original as I could have
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
Right.
At like 18, never having a camera, like, oh, you know, be
Did
funny.
he
So
buy you?
cute.
Did he buy you the camera like on return of the couch, or like?
Or, like, right away.
So we were
Yeah.
going to Utah to go to a bunch of national parks, and we stopped at a Best Buy. So the couch is in our possession. We go to Best Buy. He buys me the Nikon D90 with the kit lens in the little leather bag. And then, yeah, I
That's
remember.
like it was probably like $1,500, right?
I don't know.
Like
probably
kind of expensive.
Yeah, probably kind of expensive. But it shot 720 video. It was like
Yeah,
one of the first like
720.
HD cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know
remember
it shot
Chase-
video until like a year later.
I remember Chase Jarvis was
I
an
love
ambassador
that.
for that campaign.
No way.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
why
dude,
that's
you've been
how I
in
got
deep,
into
bro.
it. Yeah, that's when
Look
that's
at
when
you.
I got into it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's tight.
All right,
That's
so buyer's
my first
guide?
camera.
Yeah, quick buyer's guide because I got 2 bars on my battery here. It was a cool-
Buyer's guide. Gosh, I think on
so
eBay,
hard.
it's so hard. You really don't know what you're gonna get. You have to expect a lemon and hope it all works out.
But like as far as brands go, like Minolta's
Minolta,
core. Like
yeah.
I think Minolta's core.
Yeah.
I think some of the not popular ones you hear are like you probably get a good deal on. This Olympus OM1 I'd recommend. I know
Right.
that's just
Yeah,
mine,
if you're
but-
just
so you
starting out shooting film photography, don't spend an arm and a leg yet.
don't buy
No.
like a
Yeah.
By any
Don't buy
means.
spend under $200.
Under
You want to spend money on
$200.
film.
But
and
I
the difference
would-
between these
right.
cameras is very negligible.
Yeah.
If they work,
I would
they work.
encourage people to get a fully mechanical camera to kind of learn
Yeah.
the craft of it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
And
I
I,
also-
would say actually maybe to stay away from eBay if you can. I know it's really
Yeah.
convenient, but the horror stories
Sketchy.
are rampant, especially right now.
Right.
A lot of people are.
My
getting
eBay
All my
experience, Willem sent me a camera to buy on
nice.
eBay and said, "This one looks great. I get it. It doesn't work."
Wow, just
Dang,
I
just-
would-
yo,
So
I would
Willem-
say
so
I've
when
been-
Willem
Under
felt
the
so
bus.
guilty, and I was like,
That's
"Dude,
so
it's not your
funny.
fault. Like, you literally can't look at the camera. You
Yeah.
just were doing me a
Yeah.
favor. It's not his
I
fault, but
would
I obviously
100%
roasted him."
Go to your local camera store and
Yeah.
only buy something that's been film tested.
Yeah.
Or
or
go
ask
to
our
these-
Discord.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
ask our Discord,
Go in
yeah.
our Discord.
See if
There's
anyone's
also
selling.
little small companies that are reselling cameras
Yeah,
and
there's a
they're
lot
all
of
film
nice ones.
tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
I
say
would honestly, I would go buy an Ilford Sprite for $30
those are fun.
and go have fun.
Yeah.
Like, because
Those
I,
are
I,
fun.
I think to me, it's like, are you trying to have fun or are you trying to like learn the craft of photography?
Sure.
If you're
to
trying
me,
to
like
learn,
those-
don't get the Sprite.
Yeah.
Right. If you're trying to
yeah,
learn the craft,
and-
Sprite's not it.
And I
but
feel
if
like
you're
the
trying to go
Sprite's gonna
have fun
break
with
in like 2 years. Like if you use it a lot.
Yeah.
Like the
totally,
Sprite's
it's a
just all
$30
plastic.
camera. It's
Yeah.
like you're gonna go to
Totally,
like
yeah.
you're gonna go to Chipotle and spend more money.
My
on
um,
guac.
my eBay experience. I've always been skeptical of eBay, but all of my purchases, all my cameras I purchased have been from Japan through eBay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they've been really reliable. I read all the stuff in the documents there. They're pretty.
So it's like there's the
pristine.
plus signs, like the
yeah,
more plus signs
excellent.
is better.
Mint. Look for mint.
Yep.
I will
also
say
think-
though, I bought a Mint
Yes.
working G2
Oh, no.
from Japan in eBay, and I
Oh,
got it,
no.
and that shit didn't work.
This was the
Dang.
camera
So-
that I
That's
bought
hard.
that was
That's
mint.
tough.
It's the Olympus Muju, I think. And it just doesn't take the film just won't load.
No.
crazy. That's such a
Yeah.
bummer.
So when you go to load it, you hit
Is
the
it
little
the
button.
Stylus Epic?
All we're saying is you got to take a leap of faith.
I also
Yeah. At
this
I
point,
also
you're
think
taking a leap of faith.
supporting your local
Screw this
camera
thing.
shop is always the coolest thing to do. That's like if
100%.
you
Amen. That's cool.
skate
I like
or if you
that.
ride a bike, if you do any
100%.
sports, supporting your local shops is always the
like
you're
that.
part of the community, you're helping out. So
Also,
if you
what's fun
can.
about that is you can walk
Or
out
use
of
our
the store
Amazon
with
affiliate
the
link.
camera.
With the camera and go
Right.
start shooting on the
Oh,
street.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't
My
have to wait.
Photographing the street.
My
Be
last
careful what I say.
question. Yeah, my last question for Taylor is: what's the difference between like an M5, M3, M6?
Good question. I have
There
no
are
idea either.
definite differences. So, like my M3, there's
Is M5 the goat? Like everyone wants an M5.
everyone
Or-
wants an M6.
M6.
Everyone wants an
Landis
M6.
just sold his.
That's
right?
what I want. I want it.
Volandis just sold
I-
his M6.
I want it.
I wanted the
want
M6
it.
too, but then talking to the guy at Blue Moon, he was like, "You actually want an M3. It actually is a much better camera."
Why?
He was just a good salesman, Taylor.
Well, I've been reading about it and I've been talking to Leica shooters, and I keep hearing it. M3 is
Okay.
actually like everyone is saying, even if you get an M6, you'll keep the M3 before you keep the M6.
Dang.
Okay.
Who knows? But
As I go on the eBay app to
Yeah.
look at prices.
Oh, dude, I am bombarding eBay right now with M6 and M3 prices.
There's one for $1,500. KEH.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what's great about the M3 right now too, is that because it doesn't have the hype the M6 does, it's just cheaper.
But what are the
but
differences? Or
Everyone's saying it's mechanically more sound, which I think just the earlier build, there's tiny differences in how they're actually physically built. There's like a difference in the viewfinder. Mine's a double stroke, so after every shot, I have to stroke my lever twice instead of once. There's just they're very negligible differences.
Okay.
What else?
Dang, the X
can't remember
pans
it
are
all.
like X pans are
Are
so
ex-
expensive.
very expensive.
X fans
Oh,
are because they're so
no.
rare. There's just
Yeah.
not a lot of them.
Fuji has an X pan.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hasselblad has it. Well, didn't Fuji and
Hasselblad.
Hasselblad do a collaboration on one X pan? I think they did.
Okay,
Wow,
cool.
dude.
So
a
I will not be
Hasselblad
buying
X-Pan
one of those.
tooth rangefinder. Oh, This thing looks
So good.
Gorgeous.
sick. It has a wooden handle on it.
Come on.
It has a wooden handle.
Come
All
on.
right, buy a
Just
bunch.
like this-
Please buy a bunch of our merch so I can.
We gotta.
Oh, I remember now. The M3 doesn't have a light meter.
Oh.
Okay.
The M6 does, which is what turns a lot of people off to the M3.
Which is hilarious because like I feel like if you're shooting with a Leica,
You don't need one.
You don't need a light meter.
I know.
Wait,
Like you're gonna have an external
might
light
want
meter,
one,
or
though.
you're literally
Kind of
You know
judging.
your shit.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like at this point I can get
Film
pretty damn
speed,
close
yeah.
guessing.
Right. So
You
that's
know,
a
the photos are
huge-
still ass, but I can they're exposed.
You still suck. Yeah, but
But I can expose. I can expose.
yeah, but like it's exposed.
But the tones are there.
But the
that's all
tones are there, but the shot just is ass. Yeah.
and then there's a difference in the viewfinder for the M3. Like, you can't. It's so interesting. The viewfinder has frame lines for different focal lengths.
I love that.
Yeah,
On
and-
Matt Day's camera, you can look
So
at
cool.
it. You can look what it looks like with 28,
It's so cool.
35, and a
Wait,
50, and you
is
can
it-
like.
Oh, it cycles through. That's dope.
Yes.
That's
So
And
the
it basically
M-
there's just these little lines that come
Little
up.
frame
it's
lines.
so cool.
yeah. Fuji
I
tried
will
to
say the
introduce that.
Leica viewfinders.
Gorgeous.
I've just never looked at. It's so
Gorge.
big. It's so bright. It's so sharp.
I want a Leica. Frick!
Yeah, I did too.
want a
That the
Leica, now I want a
M3,
Leica.
the
Oh.
M3
I
is
feel like,
very
dude,
attainable right
the
now.
good thing about them is
M3.
now what you know is they'll hold the value. So you could always
Yeah.
resell
Right.
it for
Exactly.
a similar
Yeah,
price
same
point.
price.
And if you hold on to it till
Yeah.
you're like 50, 60 years old,
It'll be even
you're,
more.
You're chilling.
Also, can
it's
I
cool.
say-
It's like an investment. Yeah.
Can I say, if you do get a Leica, you don't necessarily have to get the Leica lenses. Voltlander makes
Right.
some really good lenses.
Voigtlander makes incredible
really
options.
good lenses. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to
So
know.
For like $400
Versus-
instead of like 26.
Yeah, a $2,600 film lens is
Yeah.
probably
and it's
never
this
going
small,
to
you
happen.
can't
A
adapt
little
it to
much.
anything else.
Here's when it would happen if you had one camera and one lens. If you had your
Right.
M6 or your whatever and your 135 1.4 and you had no other gear, I would understand that.
Yeah, same.
For sure.
Otherwise-
that's true. You right. You right.
Get a Voigtlander.
Or if you like just sold a kidney and you're like, I got
Right.
a bunch of money to spare.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let me go ahead
You
and
won the
buy some.
lottery?
Right.
Sue
Just
me.
like-
I mean, yeah.
I literally thought you were gonna say like if you become really rich, and I was like,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No,
No.
Just if you're rich.
Sell a kidney.
No,
that's
only
if
you
Caleb's
sell a kidney.
philosophy.
Yeah.
That's good.
I saw
Okay.
this like stand-up guy talking about how like our kids' generation will be like, well, I went to my day job, I sold my plasma, now what am I gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
like all they don't actually go work, they just like
sold my
it's like
plasma.
Sell themselves.
I sold my plasma,
I
now I can just
low-key-
go buy groceries.
Low key, I considered doing that just to make some money on the side when I was in
Oh,
college.
I did
Whoa,
that. I thought about.
whoa.
I
You
thought
sell
about
your
that back in the day.
plasma?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
you
all
can
my
s-
friends did that in
yeah,
college.
You can
Yeah,
do that,
I
bro.
thought
What is
about it.
plasma?
From
why
your
is
blood.
it?
From your
Why
blood,
is it
dude.
in my body?
From your
And
blood.
why do people need it?
Bone marrow is also valuable.
This sounds like some crazy new age like.
No,
what the
it's
heck
been
are
around
you
for
doing?
No, you go in, you
decades.
donate some
Not
plasma,
new
you get a
age.
couple $100, and you can go freaking buy a Prada bag.
Wait,
We now see Caleb's priorities here.
then you can
His
buy your
innermost-
Gucci Fendi Prada.
Leica.
His innermost
I never knew you were so
desires.
So-
materialistic, bro.
So no, legit though, I thought about that back in like after high school to go to a bunch of concerts I wanted to go to. I'm like, well, we could just quickly like on
Yeah.
our way sell some plasma. They'll
Get
give you
some
$100
bucks, yeah.
or $50.
Yeah.
That's
we
the
could go
thing.
to
It's
the
quick
show.
cash
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
pay you right there.
Mm-hmm.
What are
It's
they
just not like a-
using?
Look at
Okay.
Niles.
donation
He's
center.
Yeah.
concerned.
He's so
I'm
like
like-
confused.
Go Google it, Niles.
He
Go
is
Google it.
I don't want to Google that.
Go give plasma.
That's
today,
like
dude.
that's like
It's-
go search this on the internet. It's like okay.
It's
And
like
no.
donating blood, man, but you get paid.
It's
It is.
donating blood,
It's the same
bro.
thing.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
I've done it. I've considered it. I haven't done it though.
Literally,
All
all
right.
my friends did that every weekend in college.
That's
yeah. It's
Cool.
sick.
ooh a
Sweet,
Hossie
yeah.
500 cm
Don't.
$1,000.
Don't.
Hey, okay,
Don't
can we
tell
wrap?
me.
I
Can we
had
wrap
two
this
and I
up?
sold it, and I was
Can we
so
wrap
mad
this
at
up?
myself.
This is super long.
Okay.
So Oh, it is long.
Thank you
So sorry,
everyone
bro.
for listening and being a part
Hopefully
of
there
this
was
journey.
some
Something in there.
helpful
Sunny
tips
16.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. Hop over to our
Suggestions,
Discord
yeah.
too if you want to get chatting there. We have a couple of channels that talk about gear, film photography specific. A lot of film photography. It's mainly like photographers in that Discord right now, which I think is fun.
Also, our
and yeah.
merch might have some film photography stuff.
Bang.
Right.
Yeah.
It says like
Bang.
we'll all be poor, but at least we'll all shoot film or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
says. We'll
Stay
all be
broke, shoot
poor,
film.
but we'll all be shooting film.
Sweet. All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Stay on the sunny side.
See ya.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side.